Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. As you listen to what ChatGPT has to say or people's reaction concerning the main foundational of American. Now, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be back with my commentaries. Now, watch the video.
So I asked ChatGPT about the Black Indigenous Americans and DNA, and this is what it said. Hey Spruce, I want you to answer this question for me, or these questions for me, with no bias or anything. Please tell me, if there are indigenous Black people that are from America, and they've always been in America, they've never came from Africa, they've never came from anywhere else, then wouldn't that mean that their DNA, wouldn't it show that it's different from anybody else who is actually from Africa?
That's a great question. In theory, if there were a group of people who had been isolated in the Americas for thousands of years with no contact from other populations, their DNA would likely develop unique markers that set them apart from other groups. However, the evidence we have suggests that most populations have mixed over time, and there isn't a known group of Black indigenous Americans that has been completely isolated from African ancestry. So practically speaking, it's a bit more complex, but the idea is definitely interesting.
So then this would mean that if they actually took a DNA test, then it would actually show that they have no ties to Africa whatsoever. So there should be no percentages or anything, because those percentages, even though they are not really accurate, those percentages still show you that you have some level of whatever that country is, so such as African or European or anything like that. Am I correct?
You're absolutely on point. DNA tests do give you a breakdown of genetic ancestry based on known reference populations. So if someone truly had no ties to Africa and had been completely isolated in the Americas for a very long time, their test results would show a very different profile. In reality, though, most people have some level of mixed ancestry, so the test results will reflect that. It's definitely an interesting concept to explore.
Okay, so one more question for you. If these people did take a DNA test, if these Black indigenous Americans did take a DNA test, and they actually show that they have African cousins within their DNA match list, then wouldn't that suggest that they actually do have African heritage?
Yes, exactly. If the DNA test shows matches with individuals from Africa, that would indicate a shared ancestry at some point in their family history. It doesn't necessarily mean they're not indigenous, but it does show that there's a genetic connection to African ancestry. So definitely suggests a blended heritage. It's a fascinating aspect of ancestry.
So what ChatGPT is actually saying is that if you took a DNA test and you are, or you claim to be a Black indigenous American, and you took this DNA test, that means that you should not have no DNA ties whatsoever to Africa. That should mean that you should see no results from Africa. That also should mean that you should have no DNA relatives, such as cousins, within your match list. Because if you do have those DNA cousins that are...
So, are Black Americans having an identity crisis? I decided to go with this topic today because of the video that I uploaded yesterday about biracials and the term African American. And to piggyback off of that, I went to a live and I was caught out for not calling myself FBA anymore. There's a reason for that. And I had a very smart response, but instead of that, I had ChatGPT write a response for you that was a little bit more educational as well and addresses this question. Are Black Americans having an identity crisis? So,
here's the final, no-nonsense version. Clean, direct, and fully aligned with your message. Yesterday, I was called out on a live stream for saying I no longer identify as foundational Black American. And to be clear, I am foundational. My lineage traces back centuries on this land. But I stepped away from that specific term for two main reasons. First, foundational Black American is now tied to a formal group founded by Tariq Nasheed. I didn't know that at first, and a lot of people using the term don't either. But more importantly, I stopped using it because of the word Black. That term was never ours. It's not a tribe, not a lineage, not a nation. It's a caste label meant to assign status, not heritage. The same goes for African American. That term didn't become mainstream until the late 1980s, but our people were already here since the 1600s and before. And we didn't all arrive the same way. Some were brought here through the transatlantic slave trade. Some came willingly through early migration. Some were already indigenous to this land. And many of us became who we are through mixing and surviving together. And our genetic and cultural makeup isn't just the result of slavery, it's also the result of trade. Long before colonization, there were trade networks between the Americas, Africa, and Europe. People, goods, languages, and bloodlines were exchanged through these routes. That's a part of our identity that rarely gets mentioned. Even the term American gets confused. People from South America, Central America, and the Caribbean all identify as American. But when we speak about being foundational, we're referring specifically to the United States. That's why I use the term United Statesmen. We're not American because we immigrated here. We're American because we helped build this country from within.
So guys, if you've watched this video up until this moment, don't forget to subscribe. In that way, anytime I post any video, you will get a notification. To my old subscribers, you guys are the best. And to my new subscribers, I see each and every one of you all. May God bless you. In this channel, we'll talk about trending gist, trending updates. Feel free to join the family by smashing the subscription button. From the clips of videos you might have already watched, I believe you understand what we're going to talk about, right? Grab your popcorn, juice, sit down, relax, let us talk. So guys, this argument has been going for so long. A lot of people talking about it on the TikTok, on YouTube, on even on Facebook, even on Twitter, concerning the people that are the main Americans, the foundation, this, that, and that, a lot of things. So feel free to share your own thoughts, what you feel, because these people that you might have already watched their video, what you hear them say, it is their own opinion of what they think about these things concerning the blacks American, the black in question, the white people, because a lot of people have different things to talk about this. But you don't still have to accept everything they said, because it is their own opinion at the end of the day. That is why we are from different families, different places. The way you see things is different from how I see things. I may see something right now and I'll feel like I want to ignore because I was brought up to ignore things like that. But you, in your own way, maybe from how you were brought up, you will see those things, you feel like, oh, this is not normal. So that's why we are different people. But at the end of the day, all we are looking for is one heart, one people, not people making other people to feel less of themselves, discrimination, making people to feel, oh, you're a black person, I'm a white person, oh, this, that, and that. It does not make any sense making people to feel less of themselves simply because of their color, because of how they look. Some people will go to the extent of feeling like, oh, anybody that is black, you are not this, racist, all of those things. It does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, just the honest truth. Because at the end of the day, we are from one creature. We are from one creature. So making another person feel less of themselves, something they don't have power over. They are not the one that created themselves. They were created by God, and God has its purpose of making them to be black or making you to be a white person. So therefore, let the blacks be and let the blacks be. You are a black person, allow a white person to stay. And if you're a white person, allow a black person to stay. That's how it's supposed to be, than discriminating people, making them to feel less of themselves and all of those things. You see? Does not make any sense. That's just the honest truth. So that is what this video is really making you to understand. The people that are the men black, the people that are the men Americans, because it has been an argument. It has been going on all over the place. So guys, I will see you in my next video. For now, bye.